Hi, today we're going to go over a secRMM feature that's been around for a while. We call them property variables, and these two have been around for quite a while, and there's other properties where you can specify a user or a computer, but now you can see in this latest release that you can use an Azure variable. So that's what this demo is today. And to use the Azure variables in secRMM, you have to have a Windows machine joined to Azure. So I'm in the Azure portal and I have this VM called test1. And we're going to use a Azure Active Directory group. And you can see that there's 2 users in this group. And inside of the VM, I'm logged on to a user that is not in the group. So if I come into this VM, you can see that secRMM has the allowed users property to pull the allowed users that can use USB from this Azure group. Okay, so let's plug in a thumb drive. And you can see that inside the virtual machine, it's mounted as this D drive coming from the physical machine here. So I can grab a file and try and copy it to this, and secRMM is going to generate an error that says that the user authorization failed. And then if I look on the drive, the file does not get copied. So as a system or security administrator, let's see what that looks like. So first off, you can see that the drive got mounted. Actually, I'll unplug it so you can see the offline event as well. So here you can see that we plugged in the drive, and this information is telling you what users were logged on, and this happens to be running under a hypervisor. But when I actually went to do the copy of the file, what do I want to show you here? You can see that the source file, of course, that I was trying to copy, and this is the user that's trying to perform the file copy to the thumb drive. And then you can see down here that the authorized user list came from this secRMM property variable, which is now pointing to an Azure group, and that these are the allowed users. So you can see that neither one of these users match this user ID, and so the file got blocked. Okay, so that's a quick demo of what happens in real time when you use these secRMM property variables. And to make this work in Azure, locally of course, and in on-premise Active Directory, there's nothing to be set up. But in Azure, you have to load these 3 secRMM Azure functions, and then at runtime, secRMM will pass the information to one of these 3 based on whether you're using a group, a user property, or a computer property. So this needs to be loaded into your tenant, and you can get these functions from the Squadra website. Just click this right here where it says Microsoft Azure, and then scroll down. You can see the secRMM Azure functions download, and then just there's a README in the zip file, and follow that. It's a PowerShell script that will load them load the functions into your tenant, and then once you have them loaded, it'll look like this. So here's the functions, and you can see that there's a whole portal wrapped around the functions, and you can monitor and see what's going on. And then the last thing I just want to show you before I let you go is underneath secRMM, there's a utility to help you. So here's where secRMM gets installed, and then under the admin utils, Azure, and then property variables. Okay, you can see there's this check Azure tenant, and this has a whole bunch of things that you can do while you're setting this up to make sure that what you want to happen is going to happen. And so here you can see I can specify the different variables at runtime. So it just helps you to set the environment up. Okay, I hope this video was useful. Thank you very much, and have a good day.